Hi YouTube, it's All Mike Pickleball here, and today I'm going to be breaking down two of my students' 50+ gold medal match at the Capa tournament. In this video, we're going to be breaking down each point and seeing what they could have done better, and then at the end of the video, we're going to be seeing whether or not they can call themselves 4-0. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to be giving away a brand new carbon 3x 16mm, and at the end of the video, I'll show you how you can sign up for the giveaway. All right, let's get started into this video. Rich is the one who just served, and Nick is hitting that third shot. Good reset there, playing it out. Some nice dinks, pretty safe dinks. Okay, hands battle. A tweener! Oh my God, on the first point of the game. Wow, these guys are gonna be tough. So that's exciting. In this point, I don't really see much that could have been done differently. I think maybe instead of dinking so passively, you guys can be trying to push them a little bit more. See, we're just dinking right to the person. So you should be trying to push them and keeping your dinks a little bit low and not so high over the net, putting pressure at their feet and making them take balls out of the air when they're dinking. Yeah, great hands battle. That's crazy. You don't see that every day in 50+, so good job. I think his name's Ricky. You're a legend for that. So let's see. Good shot by Ricky. Rich. Okay, so I teach Rich and I know how much he loves his backhand, and something that we've been working on is having a stronger forehand. And in this shot, you see Rich hit his forehand volley with his paddle up like this. Okay, so that's a tough ball to hit when it's just above the net. A lot of times if you hit it down like that, it'll go into the net. You need to get your paddle down and then come up under it and fall through to your ear and get top spin on your shot instead of that. So Rich is a volleyball player, so he loves his overheads, but you just need to be able to get down those roll volleys a little bit more consistently and know when to do them. If it's above the net cord or if it's a little bit below, you want to do that roll volley. Wow, these guys can play. Really quick, just touching on that last remark I made about the forehand volley. So yeah, this is another one where you should be doing a topspin volley. You see yourself, you're kind of constricted to almost tapping this ball over the net, which is not good. You're trying to aim back towards their feet, and with your paddle face down, come up under it, and you can swing big if your paddle's down, you're hitting topspin. You don't need to kind of just tap it in that direction. See, he's just kind of babying it over instead of getting a better forehand topspin volley. But that's a good point. We see some good shots here. Let me check out the dinking again. That's a good dink. Yeah, good hands, good pattern. One thing I'd be looking at after these first couple points is you need to look at the other players you're playing against and figuring out how you can beat them. And one of the things I've been noticing about the other two is they're not taking any dinks out of the air, which means you can get away with hitting it a little bit harder and pushing it slightly above the net cord and aiming for their feet and trying to jam them up behind the kitchen line. So let's take a look at this. What I mean by that, he could have taken that ball out of the air. I'm talking about this ball right here. He should have taken that out of the air. Instead, it almost hits his foot. So that's a good sign that you can start to abuse the push dinks a little bit more. It's a good combo though. Okay, that's good. Really quick. So in this ball, your partner is backed up, and then you should be, Rich should be sliding over more than just that to put more pressure on this guy hitting the shot. A lot of it is a mental sport. So if you like put more pressure and you're a big guy, it might scare him a little bit more if you push over more onto Nick's side of the court, because he's far back. 95% of the time, he's gonna go at the person who's back on the court instead of the person who's up at the net. Wow, let me take a look at that, Nick. What happened here? Okay, first off, if we're bouncing, we got a pickleball right here, good. So if we're bouncing a pickleball when we're going to serve, we do not have a rule on how high we can start it from. So you should be hitting it up. You should be dropping it from down here, all the way up here, and then dropping it to get the best bounce possible. What you're doing here is you're doing a shorter bounce, which means you can't get under it a lot, right? You're starting with your arm down here, letting it go, and then hitting it off the bounce, but the ball isn't bouncing very high. But if you took your arm up higher, you can start to get a lot more pace on it and be more consistent with your serve. It's called the screwball serve. Good try there. It seems like I'm saying a lot of things, you guys, but I hope you get value out of it, and hopefully you don't think I'm just yapping. But on this point here, he hits a drop to Nick, and that's a high drop. It's gonna bounce pretty high, and Nick, he should be stepping back off the kitchen line, letting it bounce, and speeding it up at the players coming up to the net instead of, you know, we get into this habit of if anybody hits a third shot drop to us and it bounces in the kitchen, we feel like we have to just dink it. But in this case, these guys are taking forever to come up to the net. The more efficient shot would have been for Nick to take a step back, speed it up as they're coming up into transition and forcing a harder shot instead of dinking it. It's the free ride to the kitchen, and we want it to be as hard as possible for them to get up there. Oh, kitchen line. Okay, really quick here. I just want to see this guy serve. In the comments, let me know if you think this serve is legal or not. He's hitting it pretty high, but let me know what you guys think. All right, so that serve was short in the kitchen. Got a little bit of a dispute. We got it on camera. Another thing, what do you guys think? Was this ball in or out? I'm gonna go with my student. You know what? He thinks it was in the kitchen. I do as well. It's like, what are you gonna do? There's no ref, right? Like, are you gonna say, oh, I think you're wrong? Well, I think I'm right. That's pickleball. You can argue, but you're not gonna get your way. So right here, it's kind of hard to see, but if you take a look, Nick decides to do a backswing on this ball, and he's too late on the shot. And he's so late that he pops it up. What I'm realizing as a pro player is when you're at the net, you don't have the luxury of taking a backswing when they're hitting the ball at you really hard. So instead of taking it back, practice only taking it forward and snapping in front of you. That would limit the pop-ups. And then Rich here, well, that's a tough shot. Also taking his hand back. So that's not a great shot there. The speed up decision from that ball being so low, especially like when the ball hasn't primed for yourself to hit it, you're hitting it on the rise up, which means it's really difficult to like get a good shot on. I'm not a fan of this, and you're trying to go almost cross court. So even if this guy doesn't, the guy in the pink shirt doesn't hit it, the other guy can slide over and hit it. Too low to speed up, but I like that you're thinking of attacking. Let's go. Yeah, that was a good serve. You got to give it to him. My kind of philosophy on these deeper serves, now that the paddles have gotten just out of control, I'm going for more. When I go for swings on my returns all the time, but if the ball is bouncing on the back line, I go for just a scoop and I push it in. I don't have the luxury to do a big swing on those really deep ones. That's something you can work on if you want, Nick. That's kind of just my preference because I've been experiencing it a lot, and I'd rather get the return in than try to swing at a hard one that's already such a good serve and deep and then miss it. All right. Oh, I mean, that's a good shot. You can feel the pink shirt guy. He's coming up, and even right, like you can tell he's starting to put pressure towards the middle. A dink down the line. I mean, obviously looking back on it, you would probably do the same thing. But just to keep your eye up, I like to think about when I was in school and I was cheating on a test, I would be looking down at the ball that I'm about to hit, but then for just a quick millisecond, I look up for the answer. And then the answer would have been that he's creeping towards the middle and you had a free ride down the line. Just to make him a little bit more off balance. Okay, got a little bit lucky there, Nick. This ball is extremely low and it's spinning. It's just almost like a foot off the floor, and you drive it too far in front of you and there's too much lift. I think that ball is gonna go over the fence, but I think he's protecting himself. Maybe not over the fence. I think I'm exaggerating here, but it's definitely going out. So maybe the shot selection there would be to drop or to move quicker to the ball. Good serve. Better drive there. See if there's anything about this reset I can help correct. See, I might be wrong here, but I'll just tell you what I think about it. On this shot here that Nick is hitting, it seems like, not this one, but this shot here, when I think of reset, I don't think about using my whole arm to hit it, right? I'm using mostly just my hands to hit the shot, and it looks like he's using his whole arm to hit it. I would probably put more strength in the hand and then just do a quick push rather than it coming from your whole arm and trying to arm it over the net. You see, he just had too loose of a grip and he went back, so he lifted it too much. I like it. I like it. Just keep going. Oh, come on. This is great. Oh, you should have kept driving. All right. Honestly, what do I think at this point? If I'm doing like a 4-0 or no, people would probably think that if they were watching this point for the first time, this probably wasn't a 4-0 point just based on so many drives. But, you know, he's keeping him low, like extremely low and consistent. I don't hate it. I wouldn't do it myself, but it ends up working out for them, which is great. Nice put away by Rich. Take a look at the dinking. Could be taking the ball out of the air. Oh, no. That ball was just a good shot. Okay, that was a great point. That was really good. I think everybody played well on this point. Starting off with this good return here, but Rich, I'm so proud of you. Earlier in the game, you were doing this to volleyballs over, and what I'm talking about is doing this top spin motion. Obviously, it needs a little bit of brushing up, right? You kind of popped it up and you went too high on it, unless you should have went more through it, but it's a good shot. I like that you're doing the top spin. Yes, good. That was great positioning by Nick here. Big fan of that. He saw the pop-up, he saw the gap in the middle, he slid, and the ready position isn't my favorite. Down here, like this. It should be up a little bit higher, and I like it maybe near the shoulder in case he does go this way. He can backhand it, but it works out. He goes middle, and he's all over it. Good job, Nick. I am trying to give positive reinforcement too. These guys are great players. Of course, I teach them, so they've got to be the best, but yeah, I don't want this all to be me just coming down on them. I think they're playing great. And this is a really high intense match that it's a gold medal match. So I have a lot of perspective on what that's like and the nerves you feel. All right, so let me teach you guys something about 4-0 that you guys will find a lot of other players doing that you guys should be doing. This ball here, what I do when I'm about to drive a ball, I might just kind of go drive to my partner. I won't say it super loud so the other team doesn't hear it, but my partner can hear it. And then that way the communication is, I'm gonna drive this ball, get your butt up to the kitchen line, and then be ready to poach a ball, right? This is called a shake and bake. Rich should have been putting his pressure down the middle up at the kitchen line, and let's see where this ball goes. Yeah, so Rich could have been all over that ball if they had just communicated that they could shake and bake. It's this quick thing on the fly that you look for when the return of the serve is very short. So right here, drive. You just let him know. And then what he should do is, a good spot to target would be either in the middle or the guy on the pink shirt when he's driving it for a shake and bake. And then Rich could have been pushing up at the net and looking to attack. Guys, aren't they cute? They're matching hats. Costa Rica retreats. I'm doing a retreat with Rich in January. So if you guys are interested in coming out into the Las Catalinas, it is a nice place. Okay, wait, what happened here? Was it a backswing? Was it too much? So I've been teaching Rich a two-handed backhand, and he really likes it when he drives it. The problem I've been seeing is when he comes up to the net and he's volleying balls, he's doing almost this push thing, right? He's pushing with two hands. I'm not a big fan of that. His one hand is so strong. I wish he would just stick to one hand when he's at the net and not resort to this. His one hand is actually his best shot. I can't even speed it up against it. It's too quick. But in this case, he's starting to get in his head and use this push coping mechanism in case he's too late. So he's pushing it, but he has the quickest hands ever. Punch it with one hand. Let's get rid of that and only keep two hands when we're at the baseline and doing drives. Okay, you don't have to do two-handed backhand volleys. Just do it on your drives. After he returns this ball, he comes up and he kind of like staggers his feet a little bit and not sure what to do on this shot here. So he should have taken that out of the air and dinked it. It bounced right at his feet. This guy is super tall and he can reach in there and just dink it back to them instead of letting it bounce. There's a greater chance that he'll pop it up if he does that. But anyway, gets it through. And this ball here, it's juicy, right? That's a high bouncer. That whole line is just open. If you just like look at Nick's head, right? If he just looked up for a glance, he would see that line was open and he could just push it down the line. Clean winner. Like I said, cheat on your tests. You want to look down, but then look up for a quick second. And we dink it. Another high one. That's a good shot. I like that he went and attacked that ball and was ready for it. I don't like where he attacked it. The court, just look at the on the left side or the right side of the pink shirt, there is an open court. On this ball, you should be looking to hit it for either a clean winner or at their feet and make them hit a hard reset. I'm slowing it down for us here. Oh, this ball, right? You should be going down into the left or the left side of the court. There we go. He's fired up. Come on, guys. Let's win this. Oh, your body language, two things. Rich on this backhand. I don't love the follow through, a little bit too across your body. I would have liked more brush up to the ear to get more topspin. And then we're right there. So if you look at Nick's body language on this volley, guys, his body weight comes up before he hits the ball, and that leads him up. Right, he's up. He should have stayed down and then compacted that swing with topspin, but his body's too far up. Hits it into the net. It's a shame. Yeah, that's the tough thing. I mean, that's his first lob serve of the game, I think. But if the other team's just crushing it, I would resort from not doing that. I hope I don't see another lob serve this game. Nice. Another thing, guys, right, I tell you about analyzing your opponents. This ball here, you can kind of see that they're miscommunicating of who has the middle. That can be an attack spot for you guys to look forward to on your way back to the kitchen line after winning this. Hey, they aren't communicating well in the middle. This could be a time for you guys to look at your opponents and not just play what I call an autopilot, where you just play, and not really strategize on where they can be playing, where you can win more points, which in this case is down the middle. This ball could have been an ATP. I know we were like, whoa, it went in, but yeah, that should have been, that's just a hard call. ATP was there, and then also a drop in front of you would have been an easier shot. Oh. You see somebody winding up like that, they are not gonna go to the left side of Nick on that ball. They're going in the middle. I just always tell my students to like be almost right next to each other on balls like this, where there can absolutely be no middle. He just kind of squeezes it through here, but honestly, I feel like Nick could have been on that ball if he was placed in the right position. I know it seems like just like a couple feet like in front of Rich, and to the side of Rich, but Nick should have been, based on the guy's body language, totally over the line of the middle and then been right next to Rich to sit on that ball, because it was a high bounce. He wound up like he was gonna speed it up. Guys, let's call a timeout or something. Let's get it back going. Good serve. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, guys. I think Rich has one of the best one-handed backhand punches, and he let go of his paddle there. He didn't do the push. He just stuck with the one and gave it a nice rip. Good shot, Rich. Good play. Rich, let's get a better return there. He just hit you a really weak serve, and you kind of pushed it over the net. Let's go for more of a swing with the tui. I've taught you it. I know you know how to do it, but you kind of just push it instead of kind of coming up with topspin and ripping it. Okay, it's way too big of a swing. You need to shorten that up, less of a backswing, and only go forward. I like to think of these drop shots as a dink from far away, and you don't hit a dink with a big backswing. You just go forward for it. Too big of a backswing, and luckily you guys pull it out. I'm looking at this and I'm watching his head. Does your head come up? Nope, your head stays down. It's a good shot, so I don't mind it. Yes. Go do it. Yes. That's a highlight reel right there. Good shot, Rich. Oh no. I think on this ball, Rich, since it's so low, you can't really attack it like this with your backhand. Your backhand needs to go down so you can get under it and get topspin. Get that paddle face down. Everything was right though. You got low. You just needed that paddle down and you would have made that. Oh! Ah! Why that one? So many shots, Nick. So my favorite thing to do on this ball, there's two things you can do in this ball. This is bad, but I like hitting the guy who's out of the court. If you hit it in his direction, instinctively he's gonna try and hit it, and it's gonna throw him off. It's funny. Probably wouldn't do it in a gold medal match, but the second shot I would do would be to push it in that gap that's right in front of you. They would have a hard time communicating over whose ball it is, and it's a high bouncer. You have so much time, and the guy's body language, the pink shirt, is going that way. Middle's wide open. Should have won that point. Good setup, guys. Almost had it. Oh, that's Rich. Come on, put that away, dude. Oh, this guys just won't give up. Oh, I've been there. Obviously, Nick, you probably could have sat forehand there a little bit more. The chances of him hitting it to your backhand the other way are a little bit lower. Just make sure your ready position is up in front of your chest. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah, your ready position's at the floor. So bring it up here and be ready for that ball next time. Bit shorter swing, more compact, and then you need top spin on it. You just lifted it up to the moon. You have to come over it as you hit it. You can't just fly it up there. It'll go way out. Think about brushing upwards on the ball like this, like trying to brush that and then come through it rather than just that. Don't just try to hit it flat. Oh, good shot by that guy. Nice dinking, Rich. Oh man, for gold. All right, you guys. So we're just gonna talk for a couple minutes about what they could have done better and things that they can work on for the next tournament. We'll start with Nick. And Nick, I felt, played really good. I liked his shot selection during today. I thought that he had a great drive that was working for him. We're gonna talk about the positives first, and then I'll get to the nitty gritty of the negative. But yeah, I liked a lot of things, but what I didn't really love was the inconsistency of his serve. I felt like a lot of times the ball was just going out, or he was hitting him like just this, what do you call it? Like just a present of a shot. They would go and just drive it as hard as they can. So I think the one shot that you hit out that I was like, that's a good serve, you just missed it. You should keep working on that as your normal serve. It was a great serve, and that should be your go-to instead of doing so many slices. At the 4-0 50 plus level, the slices might not work as much as they once did on the serve. Okay. And then also we need to talk about that ready position, because ready position isn't down here, it's up right here. And depending on if the ball's coming from that side of the court or that side of the court, you kind of just bring it over this way. Okay. I felt like you were just caught down here, and then you're doing this a lot. And then, yeah, another thing is if you're playing on the left side, you can't leave like any middle. So you should be placing yourself a lot closer to the middle there, and then just moving side to side when you're dinking. Let's also get our dinks lower and with more pace. The other team was not taking dinks out of the air. When I started playing at the 5-0 level, I got destroyed by those dinks at my feet. If you can learn how to slice dink those balls at the other team's feet, and if they're not ready to take it out of the air, you'll win so many more points. And at the end of this game, you guys were just as good as the other team. The only problem was they were winning more points. They were more consistent. So that is it for Nick. And then for Rich, the two-handed volley, this I thought was kind of like holding you back from your full potential of your amazing one-handed backhand. Let's stick to keeping one hand on it. And then our returns, if it comes to our backhand, go ahead and swing for it, get some more power on it. And then, like I said with Nick, you want to be pushing your dinks more. This team and a lot of teams at 4-0 aren't really taking balls out of the air when they're dinking. You guys weren't doing it either. So, I mean, I think Nick was, but taking balls out of the air when you're dinking is super helpful, because better players will be moving you around. And if you take it out of the air, then you won't be moving as much and off balance dinking. So push those dinks at their feet. That'll be really good. And then whether or not you guys are a 4-0 team or not, this was a 4-0 finals match. And I definitely thought that you guys hung right in there. If you guys are 4-5 yet, I don't think so. I think it's gonna come if you guys keep playing together and then you just get more consistent. The shot selection needs to be better. You need to be thinking about the point a couple shots ahead. What I mean by that is there's some points in this one that you are just kind of, babying it over at the kitchen line, or you're driving. You should be driving and then looking to do something with it. When we're dinking at the net, looking to speed up more balls. There's a lot of opportunities for you guys to get to the 4-5 level. It's not out of reach by any means, but I definitely recommend taking a look at your shot selection throughout this video. I hope I was able to give you guys insight on things that you can improve, work on, practice with each other. And there's a lot to it. There's understanding the other team, whether or not like their strengths and weaknesses, if you're going to them or not. As soon as you find a strength, you guys talk about it. As soon as you find a weakness, you guys talk about it. Pickleball, especially doubles, the best thing about it is you have another person you can bounce ideas off of and see what works and what doesn't work. But I think that about wraps it up. If you guys want to sign up for my giveaway, make sure you subscribe to me and that you comment on this video, and then you'll be entered in to get the new Carbon 3x 16mm paddle. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want me to break down your video, go to the description in the bio and I will put in my email and we can talk about me breaking down your video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great rest of your day and take care.